Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. Hello everyone, Casey here, and welcome to my review for Depth. Depth is a multiplayer action game available on Steam for PC. It was released on November 3rd of 2014. Let me start off by saying that I probably would have never gotten this game were it not for a friend buying me a copy. While it was on my radar for quite some time, I just never really thought the full price tag of $24.99 was really worth it from what the game appeared to offer. So thanks Kevin, you're awesome. With that out of the way, let's dive right in, shall we? No pun intended. Depth on the surface, wow. Okay, this is going to be a bit hard to review without making unwanted puns every other sentence. Anyway, Depth on the surface looks to be like a pretty average first-person shooter, set in the deep places of the oceans, the depths, have you. And honestly, that's pretty much exactly what you get. Average. Though don't be discouraged quite yet, just because the game for the most part is average doesn't mean it can't offer some crazy experiences and good times. In Depth, you choose between one of two selectable teams, the divers, which, let's just be honest here, no one wants to be. Or the monsters of the deep, the terror of everyone's beach trips, the reasons why many refuse to ever even get into the water on said beach. That's right, the sharks. There are 3 different game modes currently in Depth. The main one is Blood and Gold, where a team of 4 divers must protect a deep sea mining craft against up to 2 enemy sharks, which essentially just sort of turns into a TDM style game with a very loose objective mechanic to it. There's also Megalodon Hunt, where players compete to kill a giant badass Megalodon in order to then be able to play as the Megalodon. Think sort of like Juggernaut from Halo, same concept. Finally, there is my personal favorite game type, Hide and Seek.
Is somebody here? Where are you?
Are you alive?
The name pretty much says it all, but I'll go a bit deeper into it. In Hide and Seek, players choose whether they want to be a shark or a diver. The shark's objective is simple: find and kill the divers. The diver's objective is simple as well: don't get found and killed by the sharks. Once a diver is found and killed, he then becomes a shark to help hunt down the remaining divers. Again, sort of like the game mode Flood from Halo. Hide and Seek is a blast. The only downside to it is that it's only available to play on private matches and quick match, meaning that you must have friends to invite into a party to play with or just join some random player's session. Though it's understandable due to certain uncontrollable mechanics. It could become very frustrating to play with randoms, as the divers I feel clearly have a distinct advantage in this particular game mode. Speaking of mechanics and controls, the game does a reasonably good job of making the teams feel even for the most part. With the exception of a few weapons, I don't really have much to complain about. With my time in the game, I really haven't come across anything that is just really annoying yet. The controls for the divers are smooth and easy to understand. Pretty much if you've ever played any other first-person shooter game, you'll be able to pick this game up with little trouble after adjusting to the fact that enemies can attack you from both above and below you in depth. The shark side of the controls are also fast and fluid. Not once have I felt unable to attack my enemy due to unfair level design or complicated controls. And choosing from different sharks, including great whites all the way to hammerheads, my personal favorite, makes for a nice bit of variety, as each shark has their own strengths and weaknesses. Depth has about 10 maps currently, give or take a community created map or 2. For the most part, they're a fun balance between tight corridors and open spaces, giving each side of the battle advantages. While some maps are clearly better than others, I don't really hate or dislike one altogether, except for maybe Crude, and that is mostly because playing Megalodon Hunt there can be rather rough for the shark player. Depth all in all can be a lot of fun, especially if you have friends to snorkel with. No, that one didn't set right. But as I said in the beginning, $25 is a pretty high asking price in my opinion for what amounts to a scary edition of Marco Polo. I suggest if you can find the game on sale or sucker a friend into buying it for you, then you should pick it up. It is a bit refreshing to play a game that focuses on one aspect and nails it for the most part. There are no performance issues to be seen here, and playing with friends couldn't be easier. Unfortunately, the lack of content will make playing this game rather boring after about 5 or 6 hours, unless you're crazy into sharks or something. So in the end, I guess this game's greatest flaw is that it lacks depth. Depth gets a 5 out of 10, an average game that can offer a great deal of fun with friends for a few hours. I hope you enjoyed my review for Depth, and if you did, please be sure to click that thumbs up button and subscribe to stay up to date with our latest videos and reviews. Well, until next time, guys.